Let's go one more, guys. I want to go to number 8 right now while I have all three of you here. Our NBA season preview, the 8th player according to NBA rank, 2-time MVP, 3-time champ, Steph Curry. His Warriors were expected to contend for another title this season, but Klay Thompson's season-ending Achilles injury, a huge blow to their chances, wishing him a speedy recovery. Max, is the Warriors dynasty over?
Yes, it's over in the sense that they're not the dominant franchise anymore. A dynasty doesn't mean that the same players can once again win a championship eventually. I think Steph's got another chip in him. I think the owners of the Warriors and the front office of the Warriors are enterprising enough that whether or not Klay comes back as his real self, they have enough chips to play with that they can put together a championship team before Steph is done. But that doesn't make it a dynasty. Molly, you know I always use my New York Yankees as an example. You know, the Derek Jeter New York Yankees won 4 World Series in 5 years and then won again in 2009. Jeter won another one in 2009. You wouldn't say all those years were part of the same dynasty. You just wouldn't. You can pop your head up, win a chip. It doesn't make – what makes you a dynasty is you win year after year. You're in the mix for the chip year after year, and you win some along the way with the same nucleus of players. Those days are over for the Warriors. I do think they have another left in them, but it's not going to be connected to what we just saw.
That was an absolutely asinine opinion as far as I'm concerned, because you can't compare the situation with Derek Jeter and those brothers where they won the World Series in 2000 and then they didn't win again in 2009 to the Golden State Warriors, who won the championship back-to-back, only lost because Kevin Durant got hurt and then Klay went down in Game 6. And then last year, Steph and Klay pretty much didn't play. So if the Warriors come back and they're making the playoffs this season and then Klay returns next year and they win the chip, that means they would have won it with Steph. That means they would have won it with Klay. That means they would have won it with Draymond, which is tagged along the same dynastic on the
so
same
you're picking them to win it next
level.
Year.
Because again, say what?
So you're picking them to win it next year.
Well, when they get back, we'll see how healthy Klay
next year.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Uh-oh.
That's not what I'm saying. That's a ridiculous
so
question.
You're saying potentially
the point
they
is,
can.
if
It
Klay
depends,
comes up, I'm talking about the same bodies, the same people. The same people. So if Steph and Klay won back-to-back titles, went to 3 straight NBA finals, okay, or 5 straight, and then last year, COVID-19 plus the injuries getting away, and this year, next season, Klay is obviously out for this coming season rather than this, and then they come back next year and they win the chip. It's pretty much the same bodies without sans a player or two. But Dre, Steph, and Klay would still be there. That's a part of that dynasty. That's not 9 years removed like the Yankees.
Yeah, I have to agree with Stephen A. I strongly believe that the Warriors dynasty is not over. Long as you have Steph and Klay comes back healthy, 2 guys that don't rely on athleticism, 2 guys that can shoot the ball, from your words, Stephen A. Smith, from the parking lot. One thing I've learned is to never doubt that light-skinned, green-eyed brother down there in the Bay that be shooting the hell out of the damn basketball. And to your point about Draymond Green had a terrible year last year, but Draymond Green is the ultimate role player. And when when Klay gets back, along with Steph Curry, and then you add an Andrew Wiggins, along with a Kelly Oubre, along with a James Wiseman, all these guys coming together, Draymond is going to flourish well because he's now going to be able to go back to that facilitator, that passer, that defensive anchor, the defensive player of the year that we've seen the past couple of years, that how he's able to dominate as an undersized 4-man and an undersized center. And then when you look at it, their culture is still there. It hasn't went anywhere. So you look at with Draymond, Klay, and Steph, these guys have at least 4 or 5 more years of good basketball left in them. So the dynasty is not over.
Highly unlikely.
KP, let me say this to Max. Let me say this to Max before we go. Max, I want to be very, very clear about where I stand. A healthy Steph with a healthy Klay Thompson are going to the conference finals at a minimum. I want to be very clear about that.
Well, okay, so those 2 healthy, which is up in the air, right? Those 2 healthy are going to a conference finals in a conference with the Lakers, who are also going to be there. Also, the Phoenix Suns, who KP has brought up and are on
And
the way up.
Dallas,
The
and the
Mavericks, the Clippers, the Nuggets.
All of them
but
out the
Golden State's
window
going to be
with a
there.
healthy
So does
Steph
that
and
make
Klay?
you part of a
Yes.
dynasty? So getting to the Western Conference Finals makes you a dynasty? Wrong. No, it doesn't.
No.
I don't think they're going to win it next year.
I was just
What am I
answering
winning
your
a chip?
question.
I don't think they're going to win it the
I
year
was just
after that.
answering your question.
And by the way,
I was just answering
before
your
KD
question.
got there, the only reason they ever beat the Cavs is
Your
because Kyrie and Kevin Love got hurt.
You changed the question. You changed the question and asked me directly. I'm
just said
saying
it-
if they
you
win the
said
chip with the
potentially.
same
You said it
bodies,
depends.
that's a
I get it.
dynasty. But at the
Depends.
very least, they are
Potentially,
going to the
changed the
conference
question.
finals if they're both healthy.
It depends. I
Same
get it,
bodies.
Stephen A.
Potentially, the
I think it's a good
question
point. It
might have
depends
been
on
Same
various.
bodies. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.